Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Ukatsu Nation podcast, vodcast, whatever cast. I need to stop doing this bit at the beginning. Are we going vodcast, Joe?
I don't know. I thought it was video podcast.
Video podcast. All right. Well, I'm your host, Tom. You already know Joe's here.
Hello.
So is Sammons.
Hello.
And Austin
Hello.
Shinobi Kent.
You can't escape Shinobi.
Do you want to escape Shinobi?
I don't think you want to escape it. It just follows every single time.
He's like, he's playing Fortnite. He's like, I have to buy the battle pass on the last day so I can have the ninja skin.
It wasn't the last day, but it was the last week.
Yeah. Austin Shinobi is just what we call him.
He just owns it, so...
I would too if it got you some street cred.
I mean, if it were me.
I was more laughing at that. I never know how long my intro is going to be, so I'm always going to say hello during someone else's. Oh, and this is Austin. Oh, hello, Shinobi Kent. Oh, wow. Right.
You know, if it were me, I would indicate that you are Austin Shinobi Kent by wearing an extremely long scarf.
Okay.
Like 8 feet long, like
Should
the
be
Shinobi, the
Zero.
game character.
I was going to say it should be a pink one, because you play Greninja all the time.
Ooh.
But Greninja's not pink.
It's a
His
tongue.
is.
It's a tongue
Oh,
scarf.
right. I'm very slow. Very, very slow.
I mean, I hope his tongue is pink
Okay.
because otherwise it's probably diseased.
Or you could do a two-sided scarf, and the outside's like gray and black, and the inside's pink. And then you could just be like, tongue scarf. Actually, no.
Yeah. Wow, what have you guys been playing lately?
Well, I know Sammons is playing more than the usual.
Dun dun dun.
I've been playing Skyrim. I've been playing Space Hulk, Deathwing. I've been playing Subnautica.
Jeez.
I've been playing a lot of single-player, kind of multiplayer games. Like, Space Hulk is one of those games that's like, it's fun, but it's best played with a group of 3. So it's like a group of 4.
You said it's pretty challenging, right?
It is. When you're playing alone, it's meh. But when you're playing with a group, it's like challenging unless you follow like a very strict routine. And if you don't follow that routine, you will be overrun very quickly. So you also get the fun feeling of being in a large suit of metal and just destroying things in front of you. So
Okay
And
then.
you've been playing with...
and I've been playing with Joey and Eli, and they've been having a great time.
Oh yeah.
Very fun.
Very cool. It's exciting.
One of the things I'm excited about for the summertime is that we get to play more games with our kids, even if it's online, because they get to stay up later. That's one of the core foundations of Ukatsu is we would do our summer camp, and then right after summer camp, or after eating, we would go home, play games like League of Legends, and they would hop into the Discord, and then they would like spend more time with us, and we did it. It was fun. So it's cool. It's cool that Joey and Eli have something to play.
Very nice. Yeah. Who leads the group in that? Who do you think's the like tactical master?
I kind of am, because if I don't keep giving them orders, they kind of run off in different directions. So they're also like, which direction do we go in? And then we're like in this big empty room and just get mobbed from all sides. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right then. Joe, you
Me?
been playing anything different lately?
No, I've been playing the same boring old Fortnite, same boring old League of Legends. I haven't played more Overwatch lately, though.
Yeah.
Liv, Indie Queen, super passionate about Overwatch, and she's currently doing a placement, which was silver to diamond series, and I'm helping along with that. We won like 6 out of 7 games yesterday.
Very nice.
And Overwatch it's just a good reminder that game exists. And people are talking about, I think Overwatch is going to go free to play soon, which I think would be a very smart move for someone like Blizzard, especially as
They've had 3 years of people buying that game
yeah,
already.
They've really milked the amount of money they can get from direct purchases. And now if they made it free to play and they open that up to consoles for free to play, maybe even cross platform, and they can sell a lot of those fancy skins or costumes. I think, Overwatch, you gotta find, or Blizzard, you gotta find something, because you're kind of soaking the bed right now.
No bueno.
So, but yeah, that's about it.
There you go. Well, Austin, you been playing anything?
Not new since about a month ago when I picked up Fortnite, which I have been playing
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of.
Yeah. What's your go-to loadout if you can find it?
What
would you want to find?
Probably Oh boy, maybe Dusty Divot or well,
He
what's
means like in your 5 weapons and slots. Like what would you
okay.
prefer to have?
Well, the pump's gone, so I always try to get the new combat shotgun, and I can just aim far with that. I like the suppressed SMG for the close range and the spray down.
Do you like to sneak up and be all up in the business like a ninja would?
I would, but I don't think it's possible in this game. Everyone hears your footsteps. Even if you're crouching, it sounds like they can hear you. You can always hear them. So there's no real sneak up. It's just like get to them and then just build quickly above them, and then then you're going at it. And then I like either the assault, the new combat assault rifle, whatever that's called.
Tactical
Assault rifle. It's good. And
John
then
Wick.
or the scoped assault rifle. Yeah, I like that one too.
Cool. Yeah, that
Very
new
cool.
gun is very much so John Wick. Where how in John Wick, most kids, I know most of you haven't seen it, but in the movies, he holds his guns like
He
in a
like bends his
diagonal.
elbow like real tight up, so the gun's like he's not aiming down the sight, but it's like kind of right in front of his
tilted.
face.
Yeah, it's always angled, and that's when you reload it, like angles, and it was like very spot on for what I would expect John Wick to do. It's kind of cool. I don't know, weird partnership, but I'm glad it happened.
Hey, there you go. The John Wick skin is very popular.
Yeah, we gotta go watch that movie sometime, Tom.
It's true. I still haven't seen
And
the second
Sammons.
one though.
I heard somewhere there's some really, really cool combat scenes. So
The
Yeah,
return of Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Haven't seen her in a movie in a
Catwoman.
little while.
wow.
Oof, Catwoman. Why'd you have to say it?
Catwoman.
Oh man. That was
What about
just-
you, Tom? What have you been playing?
Oh, I've been switching off between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel,
Nice.
back and forth. I've had a few D&D games lately. I've been spending some time on that. And Forager. I played last night when you were playing with Liv on Overwatch. You were sitting on the computer that I have Borderlands downloaded on.
Mhm.
So Nick and I sat there and played Agario and Slitherio.
Oh boy.
And so we were playing those games. Slitherio was very, very buggy. It was
Oh really?
it was what's the word? Laggy. There we go.
Oh.
I was like stopping in place and then suddenly like jutting forward like 20 feet, and then it was like, oh, I got killed because I didn't know I was moving apparently.
For a second, I thought you were saying it was like punny because
Oh, buggy because it's a worm snake thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not that clever. Just gonna let that one hang.
Yeah. That's
Nope.
the game you play in algebra or something,
Yeah, I think Snake on the Nokia cell phone was that game for me.
Yes, me
That
too.
was a fun
I
one.
would take my uncle's
Yeah,
Nokia.
yeah. Remember, I always had so we had like the rectangular brick phone that still had the antenna on top, the little nub, and I always had the carpenter jeans, so they have like the little side pocket down on the like below your hip, and I'd always pull the phone out by that nubby antenna until one day that just like ripped off.
Oh.
It still worked though. It was
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, pretty much more of the same. I don't know. I saw some gameplay of Rage 2. I'm kind of thinking it might be fun to just run around and
Yeah.
throw boomerangs at people.
Yeah, if you're watching or listening to this podcast and you want to see a game sesh with Rage 2, let us know. Or even I was looking at the Total War Three
Oh, yeah.
Kingdoms coming out today,
If you guys,
May 23rd.
if you guys want to support that one, that would make Joe so happy.
You don't have to support it, but
Or the Plague Tale
but
would
yeah,
make
leave
Ben
a
happy.
comment or let us know if you'd like to see a game sesh, especially for these games that you have to pay for. Right?
Yeah.
So
So
Teddy would support it. Teddy loves Total War games.
well, if Teddy wants to drop half the price of the game on it. Oh man. So, Ukatsu.
Yes,
We're doing summer camps.
we are. We are doing summer camps. Ukatsu Summer Camp 2019, which we need to.
When
I
is
just
the
realized
first summer camp? What's the date?
June 10th.
June 10th.
June 10th. It's like
That's-
less than 3 weeks away.
Oof.
We need to come up with a T-shirt design for this year. Also, yeah, if I would like to just out my butt idea, if you'd like to submit a design for a T-shirt this year, we can get that done in the next week or so. It does have to be only 3 colors though.
3-color shirt design.
Only be 3 colors.
Does that
Somehow-
mean the shirt and then the design is
And
2 colors? Or?
Chances are we're only gonna do the front, but these are
Okay.
quality shirts. Oh my gosh.
So that's a great question. Salmon's asked, is it... Oh, the T-shirt color, is that one of the 3 colors?
No, t-shirt color is not one of the 3 colors.
Mhm.
Oh.
And
So you may use 3 ink colors.
and do you want them to design something that indicates that it's 2019 summer camps?
Yes.
And Ukatsu should probably be on there somewhere.
Yeah, Ukatsu, or the tagline, play with a purpose, or maybe it's themed this year. Whatever. I know there are some graphic designers out there. So we'll actually put that probably out on Discord as well as a call
Yeah,
out.
so if you... submissions done before the end of May.
Before the end of May.
Before the end of May. So...
So yeah, sign up for summer camps. It's gonna be a long, hot summer. Bring sneakers and athletic clothing and bottles of water, but it's gonna be so fun. One of our kids replied with a comment to one of our videos, just talking about how excited he gets every single year that summer camp's happening, because you meet people that don't go to your school, that
it's a big one.
that could be older or younger than you, but can still be friends. Like we're all very different ages at this table, and like we have some pretty good friendships going on.
Yeah.
And we have, because we all bond over the idea of video games.
It's true. Like, Joe's 26, I think.
I am 26.
26, and Austin's like 26, I think. Very different ages.
27, but yes, it's a rough world.
I'm so sorry. You look
Yeah.
so young, sir.
And the games we have, right? We got League of Legends, Fortnite,
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch, Super Smash Brothers. We we got a YouTuber camp, and then we also have the new Camp
Camp
Katsu.
Katsu. Yeah, which will be heavily... There will be video games at this camp, but we hope to do a lot of tabletop as well.
Very cool.
So
Tabletop gaming is something that is often forgot about, but is also very, very
I think we
fun.
should teach the kids at least one card game,
Yeah.
so they can like just have a deck of cards.
That's a good idea.
I would love to teach some Chinese card games, actually.
Oh, watch out.
But they're not for gambling.
Okay, Joe, I have a very serious question for you,
Yes.
a sincere question.
Yes.
Do Chinese, does China use the same deck of cards?
Oh, I think universally every deck of cards is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That company has taken over the world. Good
That's
job.
interesting.
I think it's just a
It's a
thing.
solid set.
like a calendar year. You know how
Yeah.
like everyone had their own calendar, but now we just use the Western,
the Gregorian calendar?
Gregorian. There you go. Thank you. You saved my butt.
You could
Calendar.
go with the Julian calendar, and instead of months, every day just has a number.
Yeah.
Like January 1st is 1, and then
Oh, God.
December 31st would be 365 or 364.
Oh,
Well, I think
my
Chinese
gosh.
cards were just mahjong tiles,
Okay.
and then whoever came to colonize
The
was
Yes.
like, look,
The only thing I
gamble
know-
with these.
the only thing I know about mahjong is that it's definitely not the same as the game
No,
that's on
it's actually really
every
fun.
computer.
I could, man, I'll go get a mahjong. No, we shouldn't teach kids how to play mahjong. It's-
All I remember is
It's
like
very-
on Jackie Chan Adventures, like the
Yeah.
grandfather was obsessed with mahjong, and it was like, that's not mahjong
yeah.
from my Windows 98 computer.
It's a much different game.
yeah, it's fun to watch, honestly. But yeah, sign up for summer camps. It's gonna be a hoot.
Hoot and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So, the gameplay that you guys are seeing right now, I think,
Happens to be
it happens to be Skyrim.
yes.
And you know what Skyrim is? Skyrim's the best worst thing.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a very fun game, and it's enjoyable, but it just won't go away.
No.
Like Sammons is like, man, I've only beaten the main game once. I'm gonna start a Skyrim playthrough
That's
over
actually
again.
false. I have never beaten the main storyline.
Oh, there you
I
go.
looked at the Steam library and it said you have 96 hours played, and I have never beaten the main storyline. So super fun because there's so much
Never
content.
Been to Sovngarde, and you
Nope.
don't even have the DLC either.
I don't even have the DLC.
So
That's-
when the game came out, you had a PC and you played on PC, or did you download it,
No.
I assume, years
So,
later?
I downloaded it, I want to say 4 years after it came out,
Okay.
and I ground out a lot of time on it, and I got up to level 40 something, I don't know, but I never actually beat the storyline. The main reason was because I knew the ending, because I watched my friend, and he played a lot, like when it actually came out. And he got to the end and he was like, well, it's not that exciting. It's fun, but it's not like awesome. So
Okay.
That dictated the way you saw the game from there up.
kind of.
Yeah. Big influence, one person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Skyrim came out after Fallout 3, right?
Yeah, I think it came out in 2011
It
originally.
did. I just looked it up. It came out in 2011,
And-
but I think that was after Fallout 3.
I believe you're correct.
So I think for a lot of people, Skyrim was like the first fantasy open world experience
Mhm.
because they didn't play Oblivion
Oblivion.
or anything
Or
like
Skyrim. Or Skyrim. Morrowind. There we
Morrowind.
go.
and-
Morrowind was like big in my circles in high school.
Yeah, I just think for the generation that like just picked up the 360 and PlayStation, and they were like 12 to 15 at the time,
Mhm.
it was the first thing like that, first RPG like that, and it was amazing. For its time, the mod system specifically for the PC
man.
community, and now the Xbox One community.
There's so many good mods out there.
You could do a lot of hilarious things, and you could make a lot of,
Dwarven rocket boots.
yeah, you can make a lot of gifs about it and share that. It's its own community in the
Mhm.
same way Minecraft is. But you're absolutely right. Best worst thing, because every single console that comes out is like, we've got this major announcement. Skyrim is now on the
Like-
Nintendo 3DS. And
I think I've only bought Skyrim twice, but I think
Oh
if you
my
bought it
gosh.
for everything, you could have bought it, and especially like the special edition that just
Yeah.
came out. You could probably bought Skyrim 7 times and never owned it on the same console twice.
Yeah, I remember an announcement made by the creators, and people were complaining, like, "Why do you keep releasing Skyrim? Why not make something new?" And they're like, "Well,
People
you
like
guys
Skyrim.
keep buying it.
Yeah.
Stop buying it if you don't want it."
I mean, I was talking to Ben, he probably owns like 3 versions of Skyrim or something like that. And then it
Mhm.
came out on the Switch. And then he bought it on the Switch. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a never ending cycle. If Skyrim gets released, we buy it.
Skyrim on the train.
Now, I mean, if it comes out on your mobile phone, chances are a lot of people are going to buy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um,
My question, I guess, is Elder Scrolls 6 going to be more beloved than Skyrim? Because it's got a big
I think
bar.
for it to be more beloved, they have to fix the combat system, and that like you actually hit something when you hit it instead
That's-
of your blade just
Oh.
going straight through it.
Oh, you never played Morrowind, did you? Because Morrowind, you could do like in Skyrim, you just do less damage.
Right.
In Morrowind, it was a true like D20 style programming where
Oh,
you could shove an axe through a mud crab. Their pixels interacting just in half, and it's like miss, and you're just like, but the axe is literally inside of the crab.
Right.
Like, oh, I shot that guy in the head 17 times, but only hit him twice. I saw the
Yeah.
arrow pass through his brain.
So yeah, if they had like you hit them in the arm, they can't use the arm. You hit them in the leg, they like fall over. You somehow manage to impale them, they die, or something like that.
The one feature they can't fix though is being able to climb mountains by strafing.
Yes, that has to be in there.
yeah.
The Bethesda game rule.
They're I don't know, Bethesda's in a troubled spot right now. They just whiffed very, very hard.
So hard.
With 76.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the next Elder Scrolls game, which should be reserved for the next generation of consoles at this point, I hope it brings them back.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of stuff to work on. It's been the same game. It's felt like the same game for
Mm-hmm.
the last decade, including like Fallout and Skyrim kind of feel the same
Yeah.
because it's on the same engine.
Okay. So Fallout 4 was like the first time I really got into Fallout, and everybody's always complaining about Fallout 4. It's like too easy, too this, too that, because the guns don't break.
Mm.
And so I wonder if they're ever gonna like go that way with Skyrim, where you're literally bashing your weapons against people and rocks and things.
I don't know.
Your weapons break on you.
Yeah, they have a
It's more
durability.
believable that swords have durability.
It'll be cool
Yeah.
if you can use the broken weapon as like a new kind of weapon.
Just throw it at somebody.
You can use it as a projectile, or like your sword breaks in half and turns into like a short sword or a dagger. Something
Yeah.
like that.
It could be interesting. But yeah, everybody loves Skyrim that plays it, I feel like, except for
Yeah,
maybe Austin over there who played it for what? How long did you say?
I'd say there was one. So all my friends, of course, were telling me how I need to get on this game and how it's the greatest game ever and blah blah blah. And I can't stand these genres. Anything close to an RPG is just not fun for me. So one friend literally forced me to sit down and play it one day, and I think it was less than an hour's worth of time.
Nice.
Which I thought was a very long amount of time that I gave to this game.
You walked like 15 feet in that entire hour.
I'd say probably 20 minutes of my time playing the game was walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you realize that Skyrim, the optimal way to play is sneaky assassin, right? Like that's
Yes.
like
Yep, there was some cool pickpocketing
Oh,
stuff
no.
I got to do, and stealing people's little pouches of gold. I remember that, and using a little pick to get into locks, which I failed at so many times. But that's what I specifically remember right there, actually. Yeah.
you can also reverse pickpocket people and like give them
can
stuff that
Without them knowing,
Yeah,
you
you
can give them money.
you take stuff out of your inventory and put it into their inventory when you're in the pickpocket menu, and you can like poison people that way and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Or just give them 30 loaves of bread.
There's one
Go find a beggar, pickpocket them, and give them tons of food.
Yeah, there's one mission for the Dark Brotherhood where you have to kill a lady at her wedding. And I saw this guy do what might have been the most like horrific thing is he reverse pickpocketed the groom with a black soul gem, a weapon with like a high level weapon with the soul stealing ability, and a frenzy potion. So the guy went crazy, took out this super powerful weapon, killed his wife,
Oh,
and then trapped her soul in a rock.
Oh my gosh.
So and then he killed that guy and kept the rock as like.
Oh my
his-
God.
Cool, yeah.
That's actually awesome.
I'm sure most people who have bought even multiple copies of Skyrim haven't explored all of the crazy
I mean,
side quests and stories in it.
I've been playing it every once in a while with my friend Ed. So we do like movie nights once a week, and we've been playing Skyrim for some of them. And we've gone places that I've never seen in Skyrim. There's so many discoverable places. It's a large map, but it's populated with a lot of stuff.
I think it's fun too because I believe most of us have different classes. Like I refuse to go the stealth route because I know it's meta, and I also don't like how long it takes.
Is there a meta? It's just
yes,
Okay.
Because
because
like a competitive advantage.
it's not because it's competitively better. It's because people are like, oh well, this is the most efficient path, therefore I'm going to take it. It's
that is true.
So-
People do that.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Skyrim. Not everybody. Everybody except for Austin. Just
Everybody in the world except for Austin.
pretty much, yeah. It thinks this game is so great, but it just won't stop. It won't leave me alone. It keeps following me
Not until the next one
Yeah.
comes out.
everywhere. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Best worst thing. Boom, boom. You
Bam.
needed like a stamp.
Big old red stamp come up. You know, a lot of the kids here like the game League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them also have cell phones.
Kids like me.
Yeah. What if those two things were to meet, Joe?
Mobile Legends. Introducing
Mobile
Mobile Legends.
Legends.
The greatest
This is-
game. Honestly, Mobile Legends looks a lot like, or what is it? Arena of Valor?
It's
Is it-
Arena of Valor
Arena
is the
of
other
Valor.
older one, and then now they're making Mobile Legends.
Which I think a lot of people play that game. I don't. I've walked into and I've met people at parties. They're like, yeah, I kind of play video games. I play this game called Arena of Valor. I'm like, what? Who are you? I was like, I'm not really a gamer though, but I am Diamond in Arena of Valor. I'm like, get out of, what are you talking about? But anyway, so the news that Tom's trying to allude to is Riot Games has announced that they are hoping to introduce a mobile. No, not necessarily Riot. Their owner, Tencent.
Tencent.
Who is a Chinese company, which this makes so much more sense now. They want to make a mobile version of League of Legends officially for the game. And how do you guys have Sammons? I know you're into League. I have my
So,
opinions, but you?
while I do love League of Legends, I am actually against a lot of mobile games because I believe phones are for calling people and
Communication.
communicating and not for draining your battery on.
They're also for books. You
What
read
century
a lot
were
on
you born in, Sammons?
Hey, okay, I do enjoy playing games on my phone. However, when my phone dies because of it and I need my phone later and then it's dead, I probably uninstall the game after that.
That's why I stopped playing Final Fantasy games on my iPhone and iPad.
The $30,
Oh, I-
$15.99.
I have a couple of those, like $14.99.
Yeah.
I have Final Fantasy 6, and
Tactics.
I have Tactics too.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, my phone's at 100%. I can play some Tactics. 2 battles later, I'm like, 13%. What?
Yeah.
What's going
I
on?
love the novelty of like, look at this game on a tiny screen.
Yeah.
That has always been like mobile gaming, especially in the early days of the iPhone. There's hardly anything, and then people like loved Angry Birds for some reason. Oh boy. What was the... Oh my god, that was actually the worst thing. I don't know why I just don't like Angry Birds. I think it's because
amazing.
back then when it was really popular, they're like, "Oh, I play games," and they pull up Angry Bird, and it's like that's your definite. Okay. But anyway,
My kids can't play Angry Birds because they don't understand you have to pull it away from where you want it to shoot.
oh, that's sick. You just got to show them a real slingshot in real life, and then
Yeah.
they'll get it.
Maybe they will.
But what was I gonna say? I would always hack my iPhone in the early days. I was like, oh, I can now play Pokemon Gold on my little, and it'd have the little Game Boy frame and everything
Oh,
like
nice.
that. So converting a game like League of Legends, which is very much so mouse and keyboard,
Yeah.
so much more intricate.
I don't
It's gonna be a
love-
challenge.
I don't love some of those like touchscreen joysticks that you get in games.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
Those little circles that you just have to like kind of try and stay in. And,
yeah.
like,
So, I mean, I guess League might be, tapping or something, and I don't know about abilities how those are gonna work, but like the mini map is a big part of the game, knowing what's going on, and
Wait, so are you literally playing the regular League of Legends game?
don't know
on
yet.
the-
we don't
Oh,
know
okay.
yet.
no.
It's
That'd
just
be
been.
crazy.
It's like it was. The idea was leaked in some financial report or something that they're working on it, and I don't know what it's going to be, but if it's just like a port of the game to mobile, then I imagine that unless they do something drastically different than how it looks now, like, I mean, I'm going to have trouble reading a mini map that's a quarter the size of an iPhone screen.
They're gonna have to find a way though.
miniature map in truth.
But if we take a look at recent AAA games ported over to the iPhone, like Hearthstone, that was a no-brainer, very good, well done.
Hearthstone is great on the
PUBG and Fortnite Mobile, huge, and I think that's why Tencent was like, do this. if Riot wasn't already thinking that.
right.
I think it goes both ways though, because yes, it's a no-brainer to port it to mobile. Phones are getting faster and stronger, but at the same time, I also kind of feel like Riot, they're kind of stagnant right now with League of Legends. Like, League is in a really good space, and it's competitive, but their one problem for the game and for all their employees is how do we get Fortnite like numbers, and how do we expose this game to more kids who will grow up and turn into pros and people who really do love the game. Because if you take a look at the local communities, even in Colombia, it's like kids like League after they play it, but they don't even think about it. They don't even know what it is. And I think a free to download mobile game is one of the best ways to get them started. That's how a lot of people started playing Fortnite. They can play it with their friends, and then they've figured out, oh, the experience is so much better on controller or mouse and keyboard that they kind of made that migration themselves.
making the leap.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Could be interesting if they
And they got to rebuy all their
when
skins.
they make it mobile, they would just make the game easier. So instead of 4 abilities, they like have 3, and like instead of 6 items, you have 4.
Mhm.
Just make the game smaller in general, so like there's less to think about.
Yeah.
Some people really cash in on yes, it's on phone, but it's the best experience on mobile is on a tablet or an iPad.
Right.
Because there are professional Fortnite players. PUBG Mobile, again, is so big for some reason. I think it's bigger than Fortnite Mobile.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I know a lot of people who are just, they're not gamers, but they're like, I got PUBG Mobile on my phone. And they would ask me when I would visit home, do you have PUBG? Do you play PUBG Mobile? And I was like, no. Do you? And they went, yeah, it's kind of fun. And it's just it's like a cool little, it makes the game casual, which is what League is missing.
You know what I lament every once in a while is there was an easy answer once to getting people into MOBA games, and that was called Battleborn. Because people already like first-person shooters, and the not competitive, but the multiplayer mode of Battleborn was just a MOBA. It was a first-person shooter MOBA, and it was really fun. It was colorful. It was different, but Overwatch just mashed it into the ground. They released like the same week.
Yeah.
And I bought Battleborn. I enjoyed it.
I think this is you've said this before too. I remember.
Yeah, and I thought it was like everything I understand about League comes from my understanding of how Battleborn worked. I'm like, oh yeah, characters and the different abilities each character has and getting stronger. It was just streamlined and easy and accessible to somebody who mostly plays shooters.
And I think there's still a space for FPS MOBA type of games. I think the isometric top-down view of MOBA is harder to get into because it's not as visceral or engaging for traditional shooter type of people.
Right.
But yeah, the sad story of Battleborn. I remember watching videos about it. I was like, this seems kind of cool.
It was cool.
And then I completely forgot about it because of Overwatch.
Yeah,
you're right.
It was a cool game. It's free to play now.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody plays it.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I may pick it up and see what it's like because that's what I've kind of been doing recently, just picking up random games.
Maybe we should do a little. If we can find a game, we should do a game session on Battleborn.
Yeah.
Or on League of Legends Mobile when it comes out. I'm excited to try it.
That could be.
Have you guys seen the newest games on mobile these days?
They're
running
not.
On the latest iPad, and not even my iPad that I bought a year ago, but the latest one, as well as the latest iPhones coming out and other phones. These games are running just as well as PS4, Xbox on 60 frames per second. I know we're getting the whole frame rate thing again, but like you can play Fortnite at 60 frames per second on your phone, and you should try it out because you'll be like, what is this? Like, am I holding a console in my pocket? Because that's exactly how it feels.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be really crazy when you have your phone and there's going to be a controller attachment, so you can just plug your controller into your phone and just
hook it up to your brain.
I was going to say, if you get like the Google Glass, like
Well,
that's just
yeah.
on beaming it into your eyeball.
Just imagine HoloLens with your phone connected, sitting on a bus playing League of Legends. Sign me up, man.
that would be fun.
We always like to imagine we travel by bus or subway
Right.
to play all these mobile like the DS and all that. But still, I want to do it.
I do love when people are like, yeah, people don't talk to each other anymore on the bus, and then you see pictures from the 50s and everyone's holding a newspaper like as close to their face as possible. You're just like, okay,
Don't talk to me.
nobody ever talked to each other on the subway, guys.
It's funny, people are social, yet really, really not.
Oh, man. So, I have a sadness to report,
Mm.
in my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think about it. Mr. Sparkly Vampire himself is the number one frontrunner for the Batman,
I'm gonna clarify for the audience who Mr. Sparkly Vampire is.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Patterson.
Sure you don't mean
Pattinson?
Edward Cullen?
Pattinson.
Is
Edward
his real
Cullen.
name Edward Cullen?
No. That
Oh.
was his most popular...
I did not watch the whole Twilight series.
I've never seen a Twilight movie nor read a Twilight book. I did enjoy Mr. Pattinson's performance as Cedric Diggory in the Harry Potter movies. I thought he did a fine job. I'm sure he is a qualified actor,
Yeah.
but he is just so ingrained in my head as the 200-year-old vampire that's hitting on like a 12-year-old girl or 17-year-old girl, whatever.
It's true.
It's just super creepy to me.
Maybe this is his breakout performance, though.
Maybe.
Robin Williams, he had his moment. I don't think we should compare the two together, but it could be. He's trying to break away from Twilight, which I totally would try to do.
Yeah.
A lot of the actors are trying to break away from it, and I don't blame them.
I mean, you got to move on, right? So I also will say we haven't seen a fantastic Batman.
It's been a time.
Since
The Dark Knight, Christian Bale.
and even that was mostly a directive thing.
Yeah, the movies were good, but was Christian
Was
Bale
he good?
the best part of that?
Batman? Sometimes.
Never.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You're right.
Sometimes.
This was directed so well.
Yeah.
I also was gonna wonder if it's gonna be like a comedic Batman or just like
I don't
epic
think
Batman.
so.
Yeah, Batman has been becoming less comedic over time, although there was that Joel Schumacher period.
Yeah, I think everyone's take on Batman right now is very dark because he is the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very based on the Frank Miller eras of the comics, like actually people dying and
detective
like-
noir.
finding, like doing mysteries and like visceral punching and beat downs and things. And
But there were moments, like in the Batman animated series, like
Yeah.
the one that aired on Fox or WB.
that was so good.
It was very dark, but had comedy. It was
Yeah.
very tragic comedy. But this whole Robert move, I'm not that bummed about it.
I shouldn't be bummed about it either because DC hasn't made a decent movie pretty much ever. So
Oh no.
Who would you want as a Batman?
If
Tom?
I would want Schwarzenegger as Batman Dad. It'd be like the multiverse version where
Okay.
it's his dad that becomes Batman instead of his son.
Austrian Batman, yes. Okay.
see, I think we mentioned before this we were doing a little Batman talk, and Batman Beyond. Robert Pattinson might be able to do a Terry McGinnis
Mhm.
some justice. Kind of
He is.
scrawny pale boy.
He looks young enough.
Yeah.
He does
Pale.
look young enough.
He's probably not that pale either. He's just it's the movies.
It's just, it might be.
Now we
And
all think he's
the-
pale.
the saving grace of this is that he has like 3 years to get jacked and look like Bruce Wayne, I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah, that was going to be my first thing. I was like, he's very skinny.
Mhm.
Anyone can do Hollywood magic, crazy workout routine, but it'd be a big transformation for him as a person.
Definitely.
I personally really want Brad Pitt as like an older Batman.
That would be a
I
good
think
one,
he
too.
can really do the schmooze talk
Mhm.
Bruce Wayne part really well. And I've also seen him just like kind of lose it in
Yeah.
a couple of these movies. Lately, he's kind of lost it. And I think that, like an old Batman who's just really just doesn't want this anymore. I would love
There
to
you
see
go.
that.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see who they do as
That's a
Alfred.
Batman Beyond right there. You get old man Brad Pitt and young man Robert Pattinson. And
How young is he?
I don't know.
I don't know
He's like
either.
probably 26. I don't know.
There's a controversial opinion. I thought the last Batman,
Ben
Ben
Affleck?
Ben Affleck, who I initially was like, ooh, what?
Mhm.
I thought he did great. I thought the movies he was in were not directed well.
Hmm.
I thought he actually, as Batman, did exactly what I was expecting.
I liked him as a Bruce Wayne character pretty well. I never liked Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne. He was a good Batman.
I think
like-
you're right, Austin. I agree with you there. Sorry to cut you off, Tom, but
Yeah, no, you're fine. Those were not well-directed movies. I agree.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Like the
I
scenes
held
that I
up-
saw him do stuff in, he seemed like Batman to me.
Yeah.
I always felt like Ben Affleck Batman movies were like cheesy to me, and I remember because I was watching Batman versus Superman, and there was a moment where Batman like was on a light post with a sniper rifle, and I was like, "What? What?"
Yeah, that movie gave him guns, and he just
Yeah.
literally mowed down people with guns in the Batmobile and crazy scenes. I was like,
Yeah,
well,
but they
that's
were-
not Batman, but,
Yeah.
But they
you
were
know.
fine. It's okay. They're just unconscious.
And you have to remember too, at that point, that's not his decision. That's just the director being
Yeah,
like, "This is what Batman is
exactly.
like." So
Yeah, there's definitely
Oh,
a scene
man.
where he's mowing a car or two in front of him in the Batmobile that totally explodes, and then he crashes through it to make sure it's obliterated. Like, there's no way those people didn't die.
yeah, those poor civilians.
Robert Pattinson is 1 year younger than me.
See, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
He is. Wow.
It's been so long since, and he might be one of those actors that you cast as like a forever baby type of, not baby,
Oh,
but
it
like
was just
forever
his
young,
birthday too.
forever young person. So he could be just a normal Batman. Doesn't have to be young at all.
He has
So-
potential.
It's true. It could be fine. Who knows? But as long as he doesn't
It's always
sparkle.
exciting. It's like the next Doctor, you know.
Yeah, I have not seen any of this this first female Doctor
I haven't
performance.
either.
I don't know. Peter Capaldi really destroyed my enjoyment of that series.
Yeah.
The Doctor Who.
Best of luck is what we're gonna say.
Yeah, but the other person that might be Batman is Nicholas Hoult, the guy who's playing Beast in all the X-Men movies, and he was in the Tolkien
Oh,
movie.
Okay.
So he was like number 2 choice from the article I read about it.
He also seems pretty young.
He
So they're just going for the young ones for
the
this
baby
one.
face
Yeah.
going on. I feel like, and this is just movie magic probably, but I feel like Nicholas is much taller than Robert. But who
Mhm.
knows?
Movie
He
magic.
seems like a
Yeah.
tall guy.
I'm not sure.
Tom Cruise is like
5'5".
very short.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would actually prefer Nicholas Holt.
You think so?
I think I would. I don't know.
No, I don't know.
There you go.
They're probably do a better job than me.
Well, I guess it's time to do that thing where we talk about the elephant in the room. Somebody tell me about Tfue.
Tfue.
Few?
I don't know. People say it both ways.
Tfue.
Tfue. It's
Tenny,
Tfue. So Tfue and Tfue. And I know Ben is going to join us in this conversation. He's probably going to sub out for one of us, which I think he should sub out for Sammons because you have some professional esports experience, Austin. But yeah, controversy.
So from what I understand,
World's biggest. Yes.
he did an interview, I think, or did he just do on one of his channels? He just kind of laid into.
So Tfue, the world's most popular streamer aside from Ninja, outright released a document.
Yeah, right. Strip. You're the facts, right? Shout out to Banks.
Outright released a
Facts.
document with his lawyers, suing one of the most popular esports professional teams in the world, or in America.
Yeah, no notice. There was no social media drop with it. It was straight up announced to the public through a
Some
news site,
media,
basically, yeah.
media online media website. It was to FaZe Clan, by the way, for those who don't know, who they've risen to fame because of the 360 no scope trick shot videos from Call of Duty, but now they're much bigger, they're much more wealthy.
They try to branch out with several different
Counter-Strike
games.
Fortnite has been huge for them, claiming things like they could take upwards of 80% of his earnings as a player signed by them, and they pressured him into doing very specific things, very serious things like drinking,
underage gambling,
and underage gambling,
stunts where he
jumping
got
off
injured.
of cliffs, and one part that they snuck in there was also hiring and signing a younger player, I believe it's High Sky, to play under the organization and lying about his age, like literally changing in his Twitch description one day to the next that he suddenly became 13 years old when he was still 10 and now 11. So
Wow.
So that's again. No, I don't know why I always find myself bashing China, but they did the same thing in the Summer Olympics when there were tiny little girls competing for the gold medals at the gymnastics.
Yeah.
So they released that, and everyone's talking about it. Oh my goodness, this, that. Ninja's saying, oh, this is what happens in business. You got to read the contracts, right? You got to protect yourself. These are things this is why you need to lawyer up, especially if you're children trying to get into the professional esports scene. It's so alluring to say, oh yeah, I totally want to sign up with a pro org, especially FaZe Clan.
Right.
But you might lose sight of all the little fine print things. And so their owner and founder, FaZe Banks, kind of countered this whole thing by doing an on-air appearance on something called Drama Alert. I hate myself right now. On Drama Alert, which is a YouTube channel. It is a very popular channel. And he pretty much said, well, this came out of nowhere. I'm completely blindsided. We've collected less than 1% of his earnings. I built this for him. I was such a champion for Tfue to sign with me so I can make him famous. He's only here because of FaZe Clan, which there's a lot of merit to. As soon as you get that bump, that FaZe Clan bump, suddenly your Twitter numbers, they skyrocket. You're featured on a lot of YouTube content, and you get popular.
Right.
Really, really popular.
And I think what's important to note from FaZe Banks, again, the founder, kind of the face of FaZe, as he put it in his own video, he has every right to feel upset about this. So, personally speaking, it's his company, it's his brand, and to be attacked like this, or the approach that Tfue is taking, which is kind of undermining the credibility of the organization, that can really hurt the legitimacy of FaZe. And everything that he says in his video is true. He talks about how they've only collected a certain amount of money from this contract. He knew the contract he was signing up for. He did find Tfue. We helped him find success. Just recently, actually, Tfue responded saying, you know what, forget all of the drama stuff, forget all the emotional stuff. I want out of this contract because it's obscene. It's not right what is in this contract. And it was actually just released what the contract entails.
Well,
and
FaZe did post on Twitter some of the numbers from the contract, right?
Yep. And
But now
it goes
here's
back
the
and forth.
official contract,
Because I know
apparently.
Ninja talked about it. He says, well, actually, it's actually 2080 because the dispute was FaZe can take up to 80% of my earnings. I only get 20%. And then Ninja Keemstar, FaZe said the same thing. Well, we've actually only collected $60,000. It's actually 2080 in favor of Tfue. It actually goes both ways. So here's the way the contract lies up and how his money split and things that Tfue actually has an issue with. In-game sticker, his creator code income, 50% to the gamer, 50% to the company. Brand deals featuring the gamer that exist on gamer or company's content creation platforms like Twitch, YouTube, or other social media sites if the deal is bought to a company. Or brought to a company, 50% to the gamer.
Company.
Yeah, brought to company by gamer.
By
So if he brings anything that he brings through his own Twitch, through his own YouTube, 50% to the gamer, 50% to the company. Brand deals featuring the gamer that exists on gamer or company's content creation platforms. The company will get 20% of that, and the gamer gets 80%. So that's one of the big things: 20% to the gamer, 80% to the company. All the brand
But that's
deals.
only if the
for Twitch, for
that's
YouTube.
only if the company originates the deal for the gamer, right?
Mhm. And all income generated by gamer from cash prizes, from prize collectively, anything he's won in his tournament winnings, that goes 80% to the gamer, 20% to the company. So his winnings, that's 80% to him, 20% to
Sure. FaZe Clan.
to Tfue, to the FaZe Clan. And so the numbers go both ways, but it does stand to reason that through his brand deals, he's one of the biggest Twitch streamers, one of the largest YouTube followings in the country. That FaZe can collectively take up to 50% of some of his brand deals, 80% of his earnings from YouTube and Twitch. And it's not that they have, right? That's the key difference maker between what FaZe Banks has said. They've only collected up to $60,000, but they are essentially able to in this contract take all of that if they
Right.
so chose. It's also the fact that they limit him with his own brand deals. Tfue just wants out of this contract. Ninja said actually in one of his own videos, he's stuck with a smaller G Fuel sponsorship because of his partnership with FaZe. When he's had offers from Monster, from Red Bull, much larger organizations that probably offered him much more money, and he's limited by that. And again, it goes back to as Joe mentioned before, should he have signed a contract? He already signed the contract. He's committed to it. But that's beside the point. When it comes down to how ludicrous some of these deals are, and his lawyers, his team that's put this whole thing together is saying, well, this shouldn't even be legal, and it's starting to bring into the light esports organizations, contracts, and the legality of it all, because are they essentially a talent organization? Are they taking too much? According to law, what they're saying, for Hollywood talent agencies, they're only, the standard is 10%. So
Right.
why are we talking even about 80%? Non-compete rules, all these different elements that they're bringing into the law, and these lawyers are kind of saying, I've never seen a contract like this in my entire 30 years of practicing law. This is ludicrous.
Well,
And he was-
Esports didn't exist 30 years
Exactly,
ago.
and he was 18 years old, however old when he signed this contract. And the scary thing is, right, is he's not the only one. So
Right.
And I'm a little out of the loop on this one, but it sounded to me, though, as if Tfue himself went about this a little bit wrong. So it sounds like he had a very personal relationship with quite a few of them that helped him from the upbringing. It sounds like they didn't actually take the numbers that they could have unjustly, but legally. It sounds like he just needed a new contract, but I remember hearing Tfue in the video say, they've been taking 80% of my earnings from blah, 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 and it sounds like they actually didn't do that. They could have, but never did, and he maybe took this a little personally, or it
Very
started with the
public.
wrong
Yeah.
motives.
yeah,
and
and
then,
I think from the other perspective, looking at just facts, right? He didn't make any public statement. It just came out to the news. He didn't say
Yeah.
anything. These negotiations have been going on since September of last year. They've been trying to renegotiate the contract. That's what Banks said himself. And
who is that?
that's
He's
the guy who
The guy who was
owner of FaZe.
blindsided and
Yeah,
had
yeah.
no
So-
idea that he was unhappy in
Yeah,
his
so
contract.
it's not like this came out of nowhere, right? They've been under negotiations for a while. He didn't bring any of the emotional side of it to it. He even retracted. He told his team, apparently, this is all hearsay or whatever.
Right.
He didn't tell his team to put the stuff in there about High Sky, put the stuff about gambling, put the stuff about alcohol. That was his team of lawyers that put all that out there publicly. And it's it's FaZe Banks is the one that's kind of bringing in that emotional appeal to the public. No one has said anything false. Everything that everyone has said is technically true. But what
it sounded like Tfue said they took 80% of my earnings. There's a video of him saying that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said, and that would be wrong, right? They could have.
He's had videos in the past. This is before the lawsuit came public, where he's talking to his stream audience to check to be careful about what you sign. It was all very subtweety. Careful what you sign because you get screwed over. This, that, and they're like, everyone already knew. Oh, he's not very happy with with his contract.
Gotcha.
And that was a month or two ago. But this is a very public display of problem solving, and ultimately benefits the rest of the esports community to be hey, watch your back. Let's read the fine print.
Treat this like
yourself.
We do Hollywood talent or
this needed to happen.
Sports talent. I mean, you're not gonna be able to pull that stuff in the Major League Baseball.
Yeah, right. However old High Sky really is, if he's 11, if he's 13, the fact that he's still getting recruited and working with an organization like FaZe, which we can arguably say is kind of ran like a fraternity, right? They alcohol in all their videos, the swearing, they live on their own, and it really is almost like a grooming of these individuals who are esports competitors. Take out all the numbers and everything aside. FaZe Banks says himself, he went out and he bought the equipment. He took them out to his home. He went to Best Buy. He bought their parts. He bought the computers for Tfue. And it puts you in an environment where you're like, okay, I'll sign anything, right? I'm a kid. I'm however old I am. This is what I've dreamed of to be a competitor. And as you said, right, this wouldn't fly in the Major League Baseball League. This wouldn't fly in the NFL. That's not how things work.
That's even when LeBron James became a professional basketball player, there was allegations against was it the Cavs? His mom got a really nice new car even though she was poor. Right when he signed, and
it does happen in sports.
So
I know it doesn't. It's not supposed to,
right?
But it happens all the time, especially for college.
Yeah,
and NCAA.
Yeah, you can't pay college athletes, but it's weird how they all have such
really nice things.
Which is scary, right? Is that there's so many regulations, so many things out there that are supposed to limit that, and the fact that there's nothing like that for esports.
That's right?
And it just purely benefits the organization. Where they say. Essentially, there's also a clause in there in the contract that if they terminate Tfue's contract, he, for 1 year, cannot compete in esports. He cannot play live. He cannot play in multiplayer platforms. He cannot compete under the name Tfue.
How can
he
you regulate that?
Exactly,
they own your name?
Exactly. So he is not allowed. They basically suppress his ability to make any income if they terminate his contract for 1 year. He is not allowed to compete, play online, stream, do anything if they terminate his contract.
So, but if he quits, right? Then does that mean he's out of that little part?
Well, the whole thing now is lawyers trying to say this contract is. It's one of those contracts
immoral
that can't be upheld,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
There's a whole branch of law that's contract law. I'm sure that they have some argument somewhere, and to be frank, he wouldn't be able to hire a lawyer if the lawyer didn't think that they could win.
And it comes he's one of the few esports athletes out there that has the resources to actually take this to court to compete.
He's got. According to the internet, his net worth is around $3 million.
Yeah, and he makes it says something like $10 million he can make in revenue just from all of his stuff right now. But you bring it back down to the level that we're most familiar with. Kids who are looking for college scholarships, who are at the same time, we've talked about this before, potentially getting taken advantage of by these colleges, these universities who are saying, "Hey, we got esports, we got your favorite video game here. Come compete. Come to our school for 4 years. We'll give you your room and board for free." But you got to pay the $20,000 tuition, whatever that may be, and adults. We're seeing these lawyers, administrators. They don't understand. They don't get it. They don't see what the problems are, and it's finally being brought to light. Thanks to Tfue, whether he's right, whether he's wrong, it's still an issue that needs to be talked about because kids are being taken advantage of for wanting to pursue their dreams. It's presented to you on a silver platter. Here, let's take care of it. And then you find out when you find success, or even if you don't find success, that you're now trapped in a contractual obligation that you had no idea you were getting into.
So read the contract, as
Read the
as
contract.
Ninja once said.
Plan for success.
And even then, though, along the lines, right? Like, who has the resources to do that? If you're playing, let's say you're playing Fortnite, and you go back and you think as you're a child, maybe you're a low income child, you can't afford a lawyer, and your parents don't care about gaming, they don't want to support you through this. And what can you do to find the resources to get you the proper representation?
Yep.
You know, if organizations aren't going to be regulated and aren't looking out for your best interests, where do you go to figure this out? Even in traditional sports, you're like, how do I find a scout? How do I go to college? How do I find a team? And that's a problem right now for just normal athletes in the high school scene. For esports, it's even crazier, right? You're getting preyed upon in Discord channels where college scouts and coaches are popping in your high school Discord saying, "Hi, I'm a coach of this university, and I'm here. Come to my tournament this weekend. You guys can come out and you'll get scouted." And you're like, you have no clue what's going on, but we see it. These high schoolers are like, "I want to go to a tournament. Shoot, let's go to Culver Stockton. I got no clue where Culver Stockton is. I had no clue that was a college before this moment. And now I'm going there this weekend."
And it could mean well, too.
It could, exactly. It's just
Universities like Culver Stockton.
Yeah.
I know we pulled that example. We're not saying this isn't in no way a statement against Culver Stockton.
sorry, that was a
Right.
complete example just from one that we went to.
But the fact is that there is no regulation, there is no right approach, there's no formal approach to this whole thing, and that is a problem in itself.
Oh.
Which is why we're building something like Ukatsu. We can actually vet these processes. We can shake the hands of the people, really feel out, are they serious about esports, or is it something that they want to make a headline with in their local city?
Sure.
And so talk
Wow.
to the people, talk to your peers and your families before you sign anything.
I would heavily caution, just throwing out there, if you can't get a copy of that contract and a couple days to think about it, don't sign that
yeah,
contract.
that's a very good.
If they're like, sign it now or no deal, walk away.
yeah,
Because you want to be able to talk to those.
yeah.
I'm sure Ben and Joe would be happy to read through a contract with you.
Wait a
Not
second.
not saying it's going to be a good opinion, but it's not going to be super
I would
informed.
love
It's not
to.
a lawyer, but
We also have to think about this whole Tfue situation too, just for a second, in the sense that like Tfue is an outlier.
right.
I know we talk about this could be anyone, but also Tfue nobody planned on Tfue being as big as Ninja. No, Ninja didn't plan on being as big as Ninja. It just happened to be these two very big figures right now, who luckily they've used their own celebrity and following to be able to point out these issues.
Right.
But you could anyone who is talented enough could be in that position. As enticing as a little contract will be, it could be a 3-year. We didn't mention it was a 3-year contract, which is very, very long.
Especially for an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta go back too, because they weren't collecting on that because obviously Tfue's so big, you don't want to rub him the wrong way. But how many smaller competitors who aren't as successful are losing up to 80% of their earnings, and they have no clue what's going on? That some of these competitors just get the paycheck from their teams. So that's all you get. And that's obviously most teams aren't taking much anyway because it's all about the players. But you don't know, right? We just now you never know.
You're starting to see talent agencies springing up. Managers that are there to help protect you and to sign the right contract
my
because
gosh.
they're familiar with the industry.
I'm so torn on yes, that is a necessary thing, but I'm like, we're talking about video games, guys.
We are talking about
And-
video
but-
games, but now there's money
Well,
involved.
I totally agree with
Yeah.
you. but it just sounds ridiculous.
At
to
the end
me.
of the day, we're all just sitting there.
I'm just-
I get it.
I'm just imagining oh kid, you did really good on that Pac-Man arcade cabinet. You want to sign this contract?
Yeah.
And then guy coming up, no, I will be your agent.
And right now, it does sound crazy, but
Uh-huh.
those talent organizations, those agencies, those representatives that are springing up, maybe they're in a prime position because these are the waves that they probably need to make sense. It's
And-
legitimate.
in the next few months, maybe up to a couple years, that's where we're gonna see what the rules get hashed out. This is gonna be the beginning of that
It's
industry.
kind of fun. It's kind
Yeah.
of fun to. Man, this whole Tfue drama alert. I was entertained, and maybe
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't have
Anytime
I was
there's
eating it
drama in a scene, it always brings more
I
to
was
the
eating-
table.
Yeah, I was eating
I
that
was
up
eating
too.
up
Like,
all of it.
ooh,
I was like,
NFL's
oh,
in the
wow.
offseason, NBA drama's coming to a close soon. It's like, oh, here we go. We got some
It's
esports
better
drama.
this than politics, because this is, again, it's just video games, right? It's not like, oh my gosh,
Oh, my
this
taxes!
is,
My
this is
tax
our,
bracket's changing.
This is our nation. But it's there's a subsection. It's video games, but it's still very controversial. You know, the popcorn gif
Yeah.
is very real right now. But on the more serious note, like what Ben was saying, especially to all of you kids listening to this podcast, please be careful. We've echoed this since day one of Ukatsu High School esports, right? People are going to approach you because they want to use your talents, and that's fine. That is a 100% valid approach. You should be rewarded.
Being able
People
to sell
should-
your talents is pretty much what industry is based on.
a lot of industries. And so just be careful and read and talk to your parents, talk to your lawyers if you have one, or talk to people that you trust.
I mean, you can go as far as like high school guidance counselors should be able
Yeah,
to point you in the right
absolutely.
direction at least.
Yeah, that's their job.
Yeah.
So yeah, eye opener for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And best of luck for both parties. FaZe, they're definitely. I think the aftermath is they got a little scar.
Mhm.
They got a big scar maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
But-
it could go either way. It's not just FaZe, right? There's how many of the esports organizations that probably have to take a look, like, oh, shoot, we might not have Tfue, but we still have all these other competitors that we might have to go and rewrite our contracts for. And it's, you know, for FaZe, it's like, dang, it really, as you said, it probably hurt him for at least a
Yeah,
while.
it's gonna give them a black eye, but
Rightfully so.
it's not gonna destroy them though.
No,
You know?
they're so big. Same thing goes for Tfue. He's still one of the best Fortnite players, hands down. He's gonna find a lot of brand deals, whether or not he's family friendly or professional.
Maybe he's gonna be T2 Fufu in the future.
Maybe. But I think the underage thing, that's terrible. I don't support that whatsoever. I think this is also potentially the death of small orgs.
You think so?
A lot of small orgs, you think, oh, I want to start a thing. I've got no money, maybe $500 at most. I make a Twitter banner. I start talking to people in the industry. I show up to all the tournaments. I hand them my card. I've met so many of these people while being a videographer in the esports industry. Just these small orgs that find money either by family or something like that, and they pay their players very small amounts. They have a contract, but that's a rocket lawyer type of thing. I don't think that's possible anymore. Which is just a matter of how this has to happen. I mean, we've seen $1 million investments from basketball players, musicians now. Like, that's what it takes to start an esports org. As a player, just try to keep your relationships healthy. Play your heart out, practice, train with a purpose, and you can still make it. And not all orgs are bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, no.
that's super far from. A lot of orgs will help you. FaZe helped Tfue, no question.
No.
Yeah, it's just like an eye opener, right? We all
Yeah.
got to do business a little bit better. We're getting a little bit more legitimate.
I think another big takeaway from this is if something makes you uncomfortable, just say no.
Yeah, or talk about it.
Yeah.
Or talk about it.
Say, hold up. We need to.
In non-ambiguous to
Yeah.
the public, more personal, one-on-one
Yeah.
type ways.
Don't throw all your garbage
Yeah.
to the public. It's
Yeah.
probably best
Got to
to
be mature about
sit
it.
down in a face-to-face conversation. This is how we solve a lot of our problems here at Ukatsu. Just, come in. Let's talk about it. We may not find a resolution today, but at least we got our feelings out across the table. We can think about it. Because I'm sure a lot of these discussions, there's so many texts, there's so many Discord messages. I got screenshots. But was anything said in person?
The big
That
thing,
I actually don't know, even in this situation.
text very much does not convey emotion or intent,
Serious, yeah.
and we often read what we're thinking and not what the other person
Mhm.
was thinking into it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry
if
I
they
didn't put
ever
an
talked in
exclamation
person.
point.
I
Darn.
know it was. We talked a lot about renegotiating contract. That could have been over the phone. That could have been over text. But I don't know if it was ever done in person.
Mhm.
So maybe that's why people were blindsided by this whole thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if he's actually renegotiating, if it's like on the table, if he's trying to bring it up, good for him. If he's just like, I want a new contract, sue you,
Yeah,
then it's a
well,
little bit.
I think Tfue is very like, release me, and then FaZe is like, no, I'm not going to release you. He needs to right his wrongs. Is what I've read, like a tweet or two that was like, no, we're not going to release him.
Which sucks even more, right? If
he-
Tfue didn't want to like air out all this laundry. I mean, that apparently, from what it sounds like, that was not his intention. He didn't want his team to put in like the whole high sky gambling, drinking thing. Which, I mean, obviously it makes their case stronger. It's still just
It's
like
a lot stronger.
this became way more personal than it probably needed to be. But in a way, it's better because it draws more attention.
Yeah,
People are talking about it.
we're talking about it.
We're talking about it because it's relatable.
Weird people.
Yeah, this will probably be its own separate segment video that will go out before the podcast. So if you're listening to it now, watch the whole rest of what happened before this when the podcast gets released next week.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below.
Smash that like button.
Oh yes.
Hit that bell
We get
icon.
100 likes. Ben's gonna consume three
Okay, wait. Why do I gotta consume something?
cans of whipped cream.
Oh!
Oh, there it is.
100 likes, no less.
Oh, God!
And then we get to do a 25-minute circuit afterwards.
Oh, my God, I'm gonna throw up now!
On video.
100 likes.
Is it 100 likes on this video or 100 likes
On this
the
video.
podcast? Okay.
100 likes on a single video.
So you don't have to share this one if you don't want to. Share the rest of our videos.
And subscribe.
You don't have to like this video, but like the rest of our videos.
Disagree
and,
with something we said? Leave it in the comments down below.
I'll leave it
That's
at
true.
Tom. Thank you for being a
Correction.
guest on this podcast today. I'll let Tom close out.
Well, does anybody have any closing thoughts? Now that we've done all our YouTube business and everybody's clicked off the video.
Just try to keep a straight head. All right. The world is a crazy place, but there are people that care about you. They won't do the work for you. They'll help you. They won't do the work for you, but they're here for you. And keep those friends close, and just watch more Ukatsu.
Keep a level head. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to get sad. Just think things through before you
Yeah.
take some action.
Don't lose it. It's easy.
And remember your purpose. Remember why you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Play with that purpose.
Don't lose track of that when you see the dollar bills.
Yeah.
I've never seen a dollar bill from gaming. Anyway, you guys have a great afternoon, evening, morning, middle of the night, and we will see you or talk to you again on the next Ukatsu production from this fine organization.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Do 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 do.